Ches. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we just about wrapped up the halachas of doorways, but I just wanted to clarify a few last things before we move on to the next part of Mezuzah. So, just to clarify, like we said, ideally, or not ideally, if it has a clear-cut doorpost and a lintel, then it is for sure good. There's a question. Let's say it's a carve-out, right? So let's say, so for example, if this doorpost were not here and were just be carved out. So according to many opinions, that would still be obligated in beracha, since it gives off the impression of a new doorway, right? If there were to be none of this here, and it was simply just to be a carve-out, any reasonable person would realize, oh, this is the entranceway to get from the hallway or the lobby to get into the chapel, and therefore would be obligated. However, it's important to remember that we quote an opinion that it's only when there's an actual door, right? So if there's whatever, if we're going to follow that opinion, you need an actual door. So if there's no door, then regardless, we're not going to make a beracha, right? So 99% of the time, if you don't have if you have a door, then there's going to be a doorpost, right? Because usually that's the way it works, because it fits the frame. So if there's no door, anyways, we're not making a beracha, and if there's a door, then you're likely going to have a mezuzah. It's just a question of if there's no door frame, would you put it on without a beracha? Okay, so if it's coming in like this, and in the middle, it's a clear Pesach, it's a clear entranceway, and therefore would be obligated beracha. Let's say that now the question that becomes, let's say it's the end, right? So let's say this weren't to be over here, it would simply be imagine we were to shift that door all the way to one side. So one side, this wall will just go all the way to the end, right? And it will continue. And then there's a little entranceway over there. So perhaps we don't view that as, it's called what we call sof kosel, the end of a wall. Do we view that as a mezuzah or not? So according to many opinions, we do view that as a mezuzah, as a side post. However, you would only have one. So that's where we get into this. If you only have one, then it depends on which way. So if it would be on the right, so again, because we would be viewing, the right side would be from coming outside to inside, because this is the entrance, this is the room that you're going into. And therefore, if they were to end over here, right, so if that imaginary door were to be over there, then people would be walking in, there would be a doorpost on the right side, and therefore we could put it on again without a beracha. However, if it were to be the opposite way, let's say we were to put it on that side of the room, so in which case, so the person walking in from that to there would only have one mezuzah on the left side, so one mezuzah on the left side, that is not enough, and therefore we're not even a beracha even without we're not having a mezuzah even without a beracha. Okay, just a few more cases. So again, so this is the case before that. This would be similar to our case. This is obligated in a mezuzah. Again, depends on the door. Let's say it comes at the corners. So instead, you kind of have they meet each other over here. So the Gemara discuss, right? You have the two walls, and you kind of enter in on an angle. So the Gemara discusses such a case, and in such a case, it would be obligated in a beracha. Let's say it's completely open, right? So imagine this entire wall were non-existent. So you just enter this room from here to here. So that's machlokas rishonim, because perhaps maybe we'd view. Let's say imagine this wall were to end over here, right? So that the side walls ended by over there. Sorry, everybody, and it were to just be like a U-shaped room, right? So kind of like this. So that's machlokas rishonim, whether or not we view this and this as side posts. And therefore, again, one will put it on without a beracha. What? Okay, so I think that just about rounds out most common cases. Like I said, as you could tell, the nature of this topic is that every case is going to be different, and it's how we view the house, how we view the doorway. So in practice, always feel free to reach out.